Hey guys, Ed from Paranormal Link, Ohio here, back at it again with another podcast episode. Tonight we're going to talk about the occult. I have learned so much about the occult while doing paranormal research. You would not believe how many times the occult comes up. From their beliefs, from what they worship, how they worship, what they sacrifice, what they do. A lot of these cults, they form around people that are weak-minded. They try to, I guess they try to trick people into joining. So what they do is they try to find the weak-minded. The weak-minded come, they tell them about it, and they're like, oh man, this sounds like something that I need in my life. And then the whole brainwashing effect just happens. But there are some cults, some famous cults, that are still here to this day that, in fact, worship Satan, the devil, Lucifer, whatever you want to call him. Or there are some sets of cults that worship, main demons or deities or things like that. So, my question to you is, do you think that the paranormal really has a foot in the door with the occult? Like, let me try to reword this real quick. Do you think it's just a bunch of hubbub, craziness, or do you think that something really has attached to these people? Because think about it. Let's talk about the Heaven's Gate. Okay, Heaven's Gate people, they were supposed to be, true to themselves. They were castrated. They didn't have, sexual intercourse, and they had to get on the Hale-Bopp comet back to heaven. They were going to get on the tail of the Hale-Bopp comet and go back to heaven. But the only way to do that was to kill themselves. So they drank the Kool-Aid. It was even so detailed. It was down to what shoes they'd wear, what shirt, pants, or how they were going to be covered up. And that was the only way they could have made it to heaven. Now, let's go Jonestown. Jonestown was the same thing, but it was huge. Jonestown was huge. So many people. That was like a genocide of his perverse outlook towards Christianity. What he thought everybody had to do and had to listen to go to heaven, because he was a personal friend or, the right hand to God. So, and when everything started getting crazy, the authorities were going into him, they were going to get him. He just told them all to kill themselves. Just drink this, kill yourselves, you'll go to heaven and everything will be fine. So, and then let's go to Waco, Texas. Okay? Waco, Texas. They believed that main leader was the second coming of Christ. That he was just it. He was the Messiah. That David Koresh was his name. That he was the Messiah. He's right next to God. And whatever he says goes. So he brainwashed these people to join his cult. But they won't call it a cult. They'll call it a movement or a religious belief. And, he was having sex with their children. He was taking child wives. He was having sex with everybody else's wives. The husbands and wives were split apart, and only David Koresh could have his brides and could have sex, could make love to somebody. So think about this. All three of those were kind of Christian-based cults, because they all circled around heaven and what they had to do to get into heaven. And all they had to do was listen and do what they were told to get into heaven. Now, we're going to move into some of the darker aspects of the occult. There are some cults out there that worship Satan. Son of Sam, I did a podcast on him. He was a part of a cult called the Sons of Sam. And they were all Satan worshipers. They worshiped the devil, they hated God, they believed that everything they did was for Satan, and Satan was going to give them a spot in hell that was above the rest. So, Son of Sam, David Berkowitz, he went around and he killed a lot of people. He also said that a dog possessed by a demon told him to do it. And these Sons of Sam's killers continued to kill after the fact that Berkowitz was caught. So they continued on, and some say that they're still active to this day. So you got the Sons of Sam's. They worship the devil. You've got, let's see, I believe there was one called the Moonies way back. I think it was like in the 70s, 60s, late 60s, early 70s. That my mother had her best friend was kind of getting brainwashed by these people. Was going to take them. They were going to take them up to a mountaintop, and that's where they were going to live, and they were going to worship this deity. But this deity was ancient. It was older than God. So he was here before God. Like, this thing created God. So again, they had to follow all these certain rules, had to do whatever they had to do, and to be able to meet this deity. Okay, you've got, let's see, where's another? I just had it. No, I can't remember. Guys, my memory is going. Let's see. Just so many cults out there that are so bad. Let's talk about cults that don't call themselves cults, but they're cults. Okay, the Freemasons. That is one of the biggest cults out there. And I'm not harping on you. If you're a Freemason, cool. That's what you want to do. You do what you believe, man. This is a safe area where this show is. I don't harp or discriminate on anybody. So, but the Freemasons, you think about that, man. They were huge, and they still are huge. And you had to be a friend or a family member of a family member of a friend of a family member just to even be considered getting in. And I think it's in Dayton. There's a Freemason place where the Masons meet up, and it's supposedly really haunted because you got to think about all these sacrifices that the set has gone on, like human sacrifices, and they said that there was stuff in there that was haunted the place. I got to the parking lot of the place, and got out of my car and started to walk, and two men came out and told me to leave. They said they didn't care what I wanted, that I needed to leave the property now. So I did. I left the property. Parked my car across the street, wasn't on their property. I walked the sidewalk. And even as I'm walking the sidewalk, I'm still next to the place, but that's public property. So legally, they couldn't do anything to me. And my spirit box is still catching voices and stuff like that. And they were out. These two guys came back out and was following me. They was up where the building was, but I was down near the sidewalk, and it was following me. So I was like, ugh. So I said, all right, I'll let it go, So I left. Again, I wanted to I don't want to barge in on people or anything like that. So I left it alone. But you got to think about it. They got secret meetings, handshakes, there's a ring. And there's probably 15 million other things that they have that I don't know about, that we don't know about, that we're not supposed to know about. I mean, think about it. See, Benjamin Franklin was a Freemason, was never a president, and he's on the $100 bill. Come on. I know I'm going to get you conspiracy theorists out there sparked up. I'm going to get you, feeding you fuel and everything, which is cool, because I like a good conspiracy. And I'm not saying there's anything bad with the Freemasons. There's not. That's what they want to do. That's what they believe in. And cool. You be you. But it's just weird. And I looked at the Pentagon, and I was watching all this stuff on it. And it was supposedly the Pentagon is in the shape of an upside down star, and that the Freemasons worship Satan. Whether they worship Satan or they don't worship Satan, that is on them. Like I said, this is an open environment here at my show, and no one is going to be judged. So you go from that to the Skull and Bones. They're a secret society, much like the Freemasons. They don't call it a cult, but it's kind of like a cult. You got secret initiations. You got to do certain things to get in. You got to follow rules, and a lot of shady stuff happens. A lot of our presidents were Skull and Bones members or Freemason members. You even got the Night of the Owls, and they hold burnings and effigies and stuff like that, and there's political people in power there from all around the world not just the United States. You know what I mean? So like, and then of course the big daddy of them all, the Illuminati. You know, everybody says the Illuminati's out there and they're running the world and they're going to take us over and everything like that. So again, my question to you is, do you think that it's just hysteria? Like these people get together and they have the same beliefs, so it's so strong of an event or of a topic that they all believe it's real? Or do you think there's something paranormal in it? There's something evil attached to it. Like there really is a demon, or really the devil really is got a part in all this. That's what I come up with it. Like, you know, I do shows on the paranormal. Sometimes I get a little askew from that, and I'll do different shows and different things. And I've just been watching things about the occult, you know, reading stuff, and I'm like, you know what? This has a lot of paranormal with it. I mean, let's not forget the biggest cult of them all, the Nazi Party. Okay, in the 30s, the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, they almost took over the world. If it wasn't for us coming in and spanking them and getting rid of them, they almost took over the world. One man. So you mean to tell me that one man filled with hatred and evil convinced an entire country and multiple countries around the world that his way was correct? See, that's where I think there's evil involved in this, because he went after, you know, the Jews, the Jewish people, and homosexuals, and everything that he said wasn't right. And they killed them. But the Jewish community got it the worst. So why would he go after God's chosen people like that? It's the same way with the pharaohs. Same way with the pharaohs, or any type of dictatorship. It's almost like an occult. But the pharaohs went after the Jewish community as well. And it's just wrong. You shouldn't do that to people. If they were really faith-based and they were really with God, killing would not be a part of any teachings. Hatred would not be a part of any teachings. But yet, it happens. To this day. To this day, there is still neo-Nazis out there that still believe in what Adolf Hitler was saying in 2023. So yes, I do believe evil has a part of everything. I do believe that paranormal has a part of this. And the only reason why I brought up the Nazi Party and the governments and stuff like that is because of the secret societies they're in are just like cults. I mean, you can say whatever you want, your belief is your belief, but I believe that they're one and the same. They do crazy stuff and do horrible things for a main goal. That's the way I'm going to call it. Just like that. And yes, I think there's demonic forces behind it all. And you can call me crazy all you want, but that's just what I believe. You know, I believe and I know that demons exist, angels exist, God exists, Satan exists. I am a God-fearing man. I love my Lord and Savior. And I know that the devil is there, and I know that he is bad. There's nothing good about that. But a lot of people would argue with me about that. I mean, I've heard people say before that it's flip-flopped. God is the evil one, and Satan is the good one. Satan just did it a different way than God, and God kicked him out of heaven. Out of pure bigotry. Hypocrisy. Then there's a lot of people out there that will argue that point to their grave, that is what it is. But me, I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in God. I love them, and I know that without them I wouldn't be anywhere that I am today. And I know that the devil and the demons are real because they want to take our souls and they want us to suffer just like they do. And again, I'm not saying that Satanists are bad. Dude, if you worship Satan, if you do that, that's you, man. Be yourself. Again, this is an open area in my show, and no one will be attacked or ridiculed for what they believe in. I am good friends with a Satanist. We just don't talk about religion much. And when we do talk about religion, it doesn't get heated. It doesn't get anger. Nothing like that. We just kind of have it's almost like a Q&A. Like, I'll ask a question and he'll answer it with a question. Then he'll ask a question and then I'll answer it with a question. So we really don't get straight answers. But the way they believe, from what the form of Satanism that he, practices. He practices LaVeism. Like Anton LaVey wrote the book of the Satanic Bible. Sorry, I lost my thought there. And it's all about worshiping yourself, worshiping the body, worshiping the flesh. Whatever feels good, do it. That's okay. And I don't agree with that. I seriously don't. And I'm not saying that he's wrong, and I'm not saying that he's evil. I'm just saying that's what he believes. So I'll give you the facts that I know and what I've read and what I have experienced. But I will not ridicule anybody. It is not allowed here at all on this show. The hatred only brings on more hatred, and I can't stand it. And there is enough hatred in the world as there is without us having to talk about it in a show. So I won't ridicule anybody. But it's just I had to talk about this, guys. I know I get off topic and I get into these rants and I go on and on and on and on, but it's true, man. Like, the occult and these secret societies and these political factors are like almost all the same. And you can call me crazy. That's fine. That's just what I think. And I do have another podcast episode tomorrow, and don't worry, it'll be back to paranormal or cryptids and things like that in that nature. But the only reason why I talked about the occult today was because it is just ripe with evil, and something has to be controlling the helm, if you catch my drift. Like, if someone is sailing the boat, who is the captain? It has to be something evil for them to do these most horrible, despicable things. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's episode. I tried something a little different. I spoke just from what I believe and from the things that I found in my research. And I hope you liked it. So tomorrow's episode will be right back the same. Don't worry about it, guys. Thank you for coming and checking it out and listening to the episode. I love each and every single one of you so very much. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have the show. I wouldn't be doing what I do. And I can't tell you thank you enough. You'll hear from me tomorrow night. I hope you guys have a great night and a good day tomorrow. And you will hear me tomorrow. Thanks. Bye, everyone.